Stephanie of Stephanie's Stitches here. Welcome to my channel where together we sew. If you're brand new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out a whole lot and it allows you to know when I go live or post new videos just like this one. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I love seeing you guys here and your comments down below. So I'm gonna look for those later after I post up this video. Alright, so this is UFO vlog week number 4. So for the update on the mosaic star quilt that I've been working on, if you remember, if you watched last week's video, I originally set out to make 25 blocks. I was going to make it a 5x5 throw, and I had 15 done last week. And then I changed my mind and decided to do 30 blocks so I'd have a 5x6 and make this a bed quilt. So I finished all 15 blocks, so I have 30 blocks up behind me, so yay! I got all those blocks done. I need to sew them into rows, but I pinned them up behind me so I could see the colors, layout, and see if I liked it, and before I sewed everything together. So far I'm liking the way it looks. I'm not going to change it around too much, I don't think, because the more you play with it, the more you kind of just drive yourself crazy, I think, or at least for me, I do. So I'll probably just leave it the way it is. I took a black and white picture and I took another picture on my camera, a white or a colored picture on my camera, and I think it looks pretty good. The colors are spread out pretty well. There was a lot of blues in this color pack, so it was a little challenging spreading the blues out, but I think it came out pretty well, so I'm real happy with that. A few people did ask me what this fabric was. This is Ombre Galaxy by V&Co. It's their brand new ombre line, and asked if they could purchase it from me. They could have, but I am sold out now, and it is sold out through Moda Fabrics. So if you find this can be done with a fat eighth bundle. I used a fat quarter bundle because that's what I had, and I still had half of the pieces left for each color. So if you want to make this or something similar to it, you could get a fat eighth bundle. That would totally work, depending on how big your blocks are. But you could get a fat quarter bundle as well, just to make sure you have enough. But I would check the shops because it's selling out really, really fast because it's so pretty. I know that a lot of shops that have it are out of the pre-cuts already. They've got yardage, but not pre-cut. So if you find it somewhere, grab it. So that's by V&Co Ombre Galaxy from Moda Fabrics. So I decided for my border fabric, I'm going to do this gray ombre. I figured I'd keep it a neutral color for the border since there's so much color in this quilt, and I absolutely love the color, but I didn't want to. I originally thought I was going to put turquoise in the border because me and blue, you know, but I decided that that would pull your eye too much away from the block. So I decided to go with this gray neutral. I'm real excited about that. I can't wait to see how it comes out. So hopefully I'll have that to show you guys next week. The rows all together, the borders on, that kind of thing. It won't be quilted by next week because I've got a bunch of other quilts that I need to do for customers and myself first. So, but at least I should have the border on. So the other thing I've been working on this week, last night when I was thinking about making this video, I didn't really think I had gotten a whole lot done. But then when I started pulling things out and putting these blocks up on the wall, I'm like, wow, I really did. So I got 15 of those done. And on my channel, a lot of you know, for Saturdays with Steph, which is my live every Saturday at 5, we've been working on the Dottie quilt pattern. So that's these blocks right here, and that's a free pattern from Moda, and I'll put the link below this video because a few of you did ask me last week for it. I referred you back to my video, which you still can go watch. That'll show you like how to get started, but you can also just grab the pattern from down below in the description box. So I didn't do any more of those because I promised I wouldn't touch that until we got back together with Yvette on June 18th on my channel for Saturdays with Steph. But we did talk about sewing our strips together and cutting the pieces to prepare for sewing. So that way we could just get together and sew. No, you know, cutting at that time. That all we had to do was sew the pieces. So that's what I got done this week is I got all my strips together, as you can see, all my strip sets. So I need to cut these up in the next week or two and get them ready. I also need to prepare my fabric and cut up my fabrics for the Fort Worth Fabric Studio Sew Along, which begins June 6th, next Monday. So if you bought a kit and you're sewing along, the cutting instructions and week 1 blocks will be out on Monday morning, and then the tutorial will follow about an hour later. And I will be providing that tutorial, and there's a couple other ladies on YouTube that will also have a tutorial. So hope you guys follow along. And then my Beautiful Sew Along begins June 19th. So that's a Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. So I'm preparing for that as well. I've got to finish cutting my fabrics, make sure all the cutting works, and once I know the cutting works, then I'll get the cutting instructions up for you guys on my website. The fabric requirements are up there now. If you weren't able to snag a kit, I am sold out now. Thank you. The Fairy Frost fabric is just so beautiful, but very hard to get a hold of. I was trying to get a hold of at least one more bolt so I can make a few more kits, but I can't get a hold of it. It's sold out at Michael Miller. It's sold out through distributors. So, you know, it is what it is. It'll come back eventually, but with all the fabric delays, things take a while. You know, it's one of their basics, so it's always going to be there. But unfortunately, not in time for the sew along. So anyway, so that's some updates there. Next week, I will show you guys another UFO that I'm working on, because I should have this one done with the borders on, and then it'll just be waiting to go to be quilted. So I'll give you a little preview. I've been working on this mini quilt where the blocks finish at 3 inches. So very much out of my comfort zone. I don't usually love doing mini things, but it's for a purpose, and I'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But here's a preview of what they're going to look like. Little tiny mini blocks, and I'm using batiks with some black background fabric. So I'm really loving how they're coming out. I've had this one kind of in a drawer for a while and decided I need to pull out and finish it. I've got a couple rows done of these mini blocks, and it's going to have 4 rows altogether. So I think I've got 5 or 6 more blocks to go before I can finish the last 2 rows. So that's going to be what I'm working on next. And I know somebody will ask if there's patterns for that. There's not. I just took regular old quilt blocks and shrunk them down to 3 inches finished. So that's all I did. But anyway, like I said, I'll talk a little bit more about that next week and what that's for. I think that's all I have this week. That was a quick update, and I will see you guys on Saturday, hopefully. My daughter and I are going to be sewing vinyl project bags, and then the following week we'll probably just be working on UFOs, and then the week after that, which is June 18th, it will be the Dottie Sew Along. So if you're interested in sewing that along with Yvette and I, don't forget to grab the pattern down below and start prepping your fabrics. Maybe get 3 or 4 blocks together, because that's about where we're at. So you can kind of keep up with us. We're trying to not lose anybody in the weeds and kind of finish this quilt together so we don't have another UFO sitting around. So, all right. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and hope you have a great week.